You know why? Firstly, we don't take our time to understand the partners we are going for. Secondly, we are good at pretending. Some people are damn good in pretending. I'm telling you, they're damn good. When I say damn good, okay, for example, I know I can cook. I don't like cooking, but I will pretend to this man like I love cooking because I want him to marry me. Okay, I know I don't love ice cream. I will pretend because always he takes me to the ice cream store. I pretend like I love ice cream because I want us to get that time. I don't tell him what I love and what he loves. We don't communicate what we love and what we don't love. We just go with the flow. Okay, if he comes with this bad temper today, you know what? I will just try and manage it. Like, if I try to explain to my people, this is what my husband does. When he goes there, he go with different ball game. Yeah. They will buy a bag of fries, buy this, buy that, give them money. So they only listens to him. They don't take my pain into consideration. I got suffocated. There are people that attempt suicide in marriages. Yeah. I am one of them. I did. I'm saying this because these are some things we don't speak outwardly that people can learn from. These are things we keep and we think we are helping the society. We are not helping the society. And the best person to advise you is somebody that has gone through something. You can't advise me on what you've not gone through. You can't tell me about marriage when you've not been married before. Yeah. You can't tell me about childbirth when you've not bearing a child. What experience do you have? The one you read in the book? Yeah. No! You can't tell me what you read in the book once I have experienced it. Yeah. It's a two different ball game. Entirely. Nobody can understand your pain except yourself. Nobody can tell your story except you say it. And if we come out of our comfort zone sometimes and educate the upcoming people, maybe we'll just help reducing the divorce rate. We'll just help in reducing the amount of uncommunicable relationships, you know. So these are things we need to talk about. As I'm talking to you right now, I've been separated with my husband for over how many years now, but he's still bitter. He still do not want to let go, but he's married. Oh. But he still do not want to let go because the qualities I have, I told him, hey, you will never find it in any woman. Oh, yeah. You can find a woman that is more beautiful than I am. Oh, yeah. You can find a woman that is more rich than I am. Oh, yeah. You can find a woman that have walked the world more than I am. But you see me, my own style, my own upbringing, oh, yeah, I bought into this marriage. You can never find my type. Yeah. I am boasting of it up to date. Aww. You know why? You have to know yourself more before you know somebody else. Yeah. If you don't know yourself, how will you know somebody else? And if you are in a relationship, you have a pretender as a man, and you don't have somebody to talk to. Yeah. Trust me, if you don't have the balls, that relationship died long time ago without nobody noticing it. Pretending in a relationship have killed a lot. There are men that are abused. Yeah. There are lots of men that are abused. But you know why they don't talk? They are afraid of society. Yeah, be a man. Be a man. Yeah. You can handle it. Be a man.
Let me come in here. Conflict in relationship does not limit itself to just trust and other factors. There are other factors responsible for conflict, major factors. But for me personally, I'm looking at the communication side. I still see communication as the biggest factor responsible for conflict. Okay. Trust is minute. I see trust a little bit over communication because most of the times we tend to misunderstand ourselves. And once you've communicated, you understand what we are misunderstanding. Sure. And you now sit comfortably where you've been sitting because you've communicated. There are some things we see, and we believe it is what we've seen. but they are really not what we've seen. I was telling somebody today, like the difference between personal way I think the difference between true and fact. I can write a big 6 here. It's a 6 from my angle. But from the camera's point of view, it's a 9. You can't argue that person. It's true from his side. He's seeing a 6. They are seeing a 6. We are seeing a 9. And the fact there is, I've written a 9.
Yeah.
So not until I get to that side and see what that person is seeing, and let him know, yes, I have seen the 6 you've seen, but I didn't write a 6. I wrote a 9.
Yeah.
So it all boils back down to communication. A whole lot of things must have happened. Yes, we must have seen it. Just like what I was saying. Some things, yeah, it is possible. Some I don't need to come. That let God pull you para kind. That lie with you, but that lie with you. No matter how you explain it.
Yes. Nobody
No
will
matter
understand.
how you explain it, nobody will believe you.
Oh,
Nobody
yes.
will understand you.
Very true.
So there comes in the trust and the communication. In the first place, the only reason you want to listen to your partner who is just coming from a guest house with another woman is because of that trust you have.
Yeah.
You will
want
create
to know
an
the
iota
story.
of space.
Of course.
Already business.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And there comes in, you would know not until it is explained with facts.
Yes, exactly.
So it all boils down to communication.
Yeah.
You just don't see somebody coming from the guest house. Yes,
Or
it's
the
odd.
hotel, yes.
We all know. And you start putting up. I mean, that's the biggest plan the man has ever seen.
Yeah.
He just sealed his biggest deal, which is about to change your whole life, not even
Yeah.
leave. Which you've not communicated.
Yes.
And now you just spoiled the whole thing. It is wrong, it is not appropriate, the scenario is not good.
You don't know what made that man or that woman make
There are
that
reasons
decision there, yes.
for that decision
Yeah.
to be taken. So it all boils down to communication. You communicate if the communication is not reasonable, it's not clear.
Yes.
If it's not clear, then
Yes.
you're intelligent enough to ask questions.
Yes.
Why here?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to so and so place? Then if it's a genuine one, he will have answers for every questions you have. And he can even give you options to go ahead and find
Yeah.
answers.
But I think when you see the lies, when the person becomes angry when you ask questions,
That is a sign.
That's a
it's a very
sign.
sign. Like
That's what
when
I'm
you
saying.
ask the right question,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Why you ask me? Ask me.
you see,
Yes,
yeah,
okay, that's-
that is a
But
sign, right?
you know also that men are generally defensive in nature.
Very much.
Yes.
We are.
Even if they are
Every other
wrong,
man.
my
I
dear.
mean, even if they are wrong, just like you said,
No, yeah.
you always find, this is what I said, in my own point of view, I said calmness, listening to each
Some
other,
people are calm liars.
be matured and
It's
attentive,
right.
so that you get the information right, just like this guy said,
Yeah.
get the information and then you process. Because if you want to bring confrontation right on the spot, the man is going into his defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And you won't
I also
have
think
any-
that sometimes you can. Everybody has a tell, right?
Yeah.
So if, like, let's say for Devine, when she tells lies, I know that she looks at the ceiling. Or like maybe for you, when you tell lies, you don't look me in the eye.
Yeah.
So you know your partner
Yeah, you know
on
your-
some
yes,
level.
yes.
So when
Expressions, moves,
you
and
ask
everything.
certain questions, you don't have to shout or anything.
Exactly.
You ask them and then you realize that all of a sudden Devine is looking at the ceiling.
But going forward, yeah. Me once personally, yeah. If you're asking me a question and I know you are being, it's not a genuine question. You are being, what should I call it? Investigating.
Okay.
You want to do the CID because the way the question comes here, I know this person, my partner wants to know certain things. So I straight up get into defense mode because I know it is not a genuine question you're asking. I know where it will end. But if it's and I know when the question comes genuinely.
No, but you know that there's certain instances where you are not expecting the question to come, right?
Yes.
You're not expecting the question, and then also like your partner knows your tell more than you know your tell, because
Yes.
it's more of like your body
Body
language.
language, yes.
You get. So you might try to be defensive, but at the end of the day, when you know you are lying, like inside you,
There's something that will
unless of course you're like a
Yeah.
professional liar, which is
Exactly.
very rare. Those
Yes.
psychopathic liars are rare. But then you're a normal person, right? And you know that you are lying to yourself. Your body knows, right?
Yeah.
And if your partner, women are very intuitive. So for a man, if your wife is lying, you might not catch her, right? But your wife might catch you if you're lying,
Yes.
because your body language will tell her what your mouth is not telling her, and then that breaks the trust.
Exactly. No, honestly, when I was married, immediately my husband tells her, I know that he's lying. You know what I would just do? I will go with the flow. I will just go with
That's
the flow.
maturity.
Yes, I will just go, my card work done today. If you see the card, I said, wait for
So
no-
guys, be mature.
You
Be
know?
mature in your relationship.
Yeah, maturity. And don't let what you were saying. Like, genuinely, my partner, there are times she just asks genuine questions. And I straight up go into, women are just sensitive.
We
They're
are
just
very.
cheating. They're just smart.
If you
She
go and
asks
lie
genuine
with a
questions.
woman now and you
Like
come home,
a
your wife
genuine
will
question, and I just get into the defense zone.
So
And
you have your
she
zone.
and she picks it up instantly and knows that something is missing, something is wrong, and she now starts asking the relevant questions that she needs to ask. And I just sit at my defense zone. I just block. Let her ask question.
So thank you so much for all those that are sending in their comments. We're going to read them as we go along, okay? So just stay glued, don't go anywhere. Keep on following, keep on liking, and don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be the first notified whenever we have the next episode. So now I'll ask very catchy, very interesting question for all of us. So I'll start with Joyce. You've been married for over 5 years. I'd like to know, the what's the spark, like, the thing that keeps
secrets.
the thing that keeps you in that relationship in that marriage for over like 5 years. What's the secret? Because we have some people that are married, but they are going through hell as a woman or as a man. Based on your experience, someone will copy, the good experience from you. So I'd like to know, what's the spark that still keep your relationship, for over a long period of time? 5 years is quite long for a beautiful lady like you. What's keeping the spark in your relationship?
Okay, so mind you, my situation might not be your situation, so it's more of like I'm just telling you my own side, and then you pick what works for you. So from my end, I think that as a woman, it's very important to have your own sense of value, right? Don't ever enter into a commitment or a long-term relationship when you have this kind of inferiority complex, because what happens is that your partner will pick up on that. And I always tell my friends, those around me, that do not give the sense that you don't value yourself to your partner, because no matter how much they love you, they are human, right? So at any point in time, if something happens and life happens, whatever, they might say something that alludes to the fact that you feel inferior. You understand? And that might lead to a further breakdown of and that might lead to a further breakdown of the relationship. So always have a sense of intrinsic value. Know that as a woman you have worth, right? You are bringing a lot to the marriage. Don't see it like, oh, my husband is doing me a favor by marrying me. It's never that, right? You are bringing in a lot more. You are doing unpaid labor, right? You're taking care of the whole.
The things you come with to the table.
Yes. the table, the invisible table. That men ask, what are you bringing?
Yeah, what are you
bringing
bringing?
Yeah.
Right? So you are bringing in yourself. First of all, your value system, your upbringing, right? You're also bringing in you're taking care of the kids. You're going to be cleaning the home. for now, if you want to hire like a house help, even in Sierra Leone, how much do you pay a month for that?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And that person is not even, sometimes they don't cook for you. They just clean your house. How much do you pay them? And if somebody cooks for you, how much do you pay them? But you are doing it out of a sense of love,
Yes.
right? It's unpaid service.
Service.
So in yourself, you need to know, don't look down on what you are contributing to the family. And also as a woman, you need to work. Right? So some people are comfortable with being a stay-at-home mom, right? But even being as a stay-at-home mom, you need to have some form of money contributing, like something to the household. Because what happens is that the man is trying, right? As much as he loves you, he's trying. He's providing for the family. But then there are times when he can become exasperated and might say certain things to you out of frustration.
Yes.
Because even for panties you have to wear, you are coming to him. You get what I mean? And it's not that he doesn't appreciate you or love you, but it's more of what are you doing? Like, I was listening to, most of you know Apostle Joshua Selman. And he was like, you have to bring honor to whatever relationship you are in. You don't just like always ask. Give, you understand? You are working, have some form of money on yourself so that you can also contribute to the household, and that makes a difference. Another thing I would want to say is that you have to be ambitious about your future, right? So I'm not saying that you want to be president or something, but you need to have a plan.
Yeah.
Your husband has his plan, and one of the things that I think most women forget about their purpose in the whole creation system, right, is that women are helpmeets, right? We are meant to help our partners achieve their dreams.
Yes.
And being a helpmeet, that's not necessarily, yes, you have to be submissive, but you also have to ask your husband questions, right? What does he want to do in the future? Where are his goals? You need to, and I know that some men will be like, oh, the woman is nagging me or she's pushing, but that is your purpose. You can't sit back and just watch your husband go do whatever he has to go do. You need to ask him certain questions, because you yourself, you might have certain ideas about how to support him. So ask him, push him, like, you can do this, let's do this, I think I want to do this, I think I need, like, make sure that there's always something going on. There's this funny lady on TikTok, and she's always like, people call her a scammer, like she's a skit maker, right? And she makes skits about always bringing like new business ideas. And sometimes these new business ideas are illegal. So it's like a funny kind of take. But it's very true that as a wife, you need to have that kind of like perspective to always bring something new into the relationship and make your husband feel like, this woman that I'm with, I can't be lazy. I can't like sit here. You understand? Don't make your husband feel like he should be comfortable where he is. Life is not like that. And also knowing that anything can happen. People are being laid off from their workplaces. Like people are being fired with no explanation. And God forbid, nobody is saying that will happen to your husband. But you need to be mindful that anything can happen. And then as much as you pray, always look for avenues of possibilities and everything. And then one of the things that I would say is cliche, but it's very important, always look good. No matter what. I mean, in your home, you can decide to like do your hair anyhow once in a while because it's your home. You have to be relaxed. But always make sure that when you're going out, your husband will be like, hey, this is my wife.
What's the go see?
Like, anytime you are walking out the door, when your husband sees you, he should be reminded of the person that he met and wanted to get married to, right?
Yes.
Your perfume, your clothing, your hair, your makeup, like look on point. When you walk out, they'll be like, hey, this woman, if I lose gas, somebody will tifamo. Exactly. Yeah, like don't ever give the sense that, oh, I'm married now, so now I can wear lapa. I'm going to buy eggs at the roadside.
That's
That's one thing most married women do.
Yeah, like
once you get into the home, they become complacent.
Spicy.
Their basic target is
It's
to
not
get like
efficient.
when they
It's something most people don't know.
Yeah.
You have
It's,
to.
it's a trap a lot of married men are getting into.
You have to always look
You
good.
start looking the way the guy saw you.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of jealousy from your partner is not bad.
That's why she said, no, it's fine.
It's not bad.
It makes the relationship sweet. Anyway, the part you said a woman should not be reliable only and solely on the man is very, very much important. As I said, we are all here to share our opinions and what we've been through, our experiences here. I am a victim of a lot of things. That is something I was a victim of. My husband was that kind of jealous person. When I do this, he doesn't want. When I do this, he doesn't. He wanted that home and sit at home woman, you know. But I'm a very ambitious woman. I wanted more. I need more. Not for just me, for even him. Because I want to help him. I want to support him. We have children. And the needs of children are growing every day.
Yeah.
You know, if you are that kind of woman that is just like an asset, a liability. My dear, liability is something you don't want to become, honestly. At first I was scared that, okay, if I go separated with this man, what will become of me? I don't know anything. I am this kind of, you know, the thoughts, even the thought disturbs you. And for my kid's father, he never knew I was doing online courses. Because I knew that he was that kind of person that always discouraged me. If I want to do this, he will discourage me. But I am always there upright. I'm saying this openly. He can watch it and comment if he wants. This is true. I am that kind of person. I've been very supportive. We started from nothing. We had nothing. Even my parents were like, you went for primary school, but we not get nothing. You left that man, they will get everything. Sometimes it's not just about the money, but you look to the individual. So people have future. You look to the future. I looked to his future. And I know he's an ambitious person, so he can go. And God, we have it. We really made it. We ended up having our own home. We built our own house. We had our own businesses. But the problem I notice is he only wants to be at the front line always. He doesn't want me to be at the spotlight. He doesn't support me to gain anything. He doesn't support me to be that kind of woman that I wanted to be. You understand? I was like, okay, like for example, now we had an online course we were doing both. And it was like, okay, now I'm working. If you allow me, let me just sponsor myself. Let's do this work. Immediately I graduate, you know, I will have more, I will be promoted. I said, yes, you have an idea. Okay, I helped him and he got immediately he finished, he got promoted, yeah? And I was expecting him to support me now. For me to achieve what he's achieved. Trust me, my dear. Now story flop story, yes. Because he doesn't. He was like that kind of person that do not want me. Yes, very much. That's the word, insecurity. But you know, you can only become insecure with somebody you know. Okay, this person came to me for something.
Can I chip in with what insecurity does not really matter about what you think the other person is, right? So I have this friend and her husband is really, really insecure, right? But when you look into the situation, you realize that it's not because of the wife, it's not because she has done anything. So what happened is that he had his parents reject him, right? His parents rejected him, they wanted nothing to do with him, and it started from childhood. And so as he grew up, he felt he was not worth loving, right? Like he was not good enough. That's why even his parents kind of like shunned him.
Wow.
So when he entered into the relationship, he was kind of like on the edge of his seat kind of feeling, because he's like, this woman can leave me. So if I push her to achieve her dreams, she will leave me.
Yeah.
You understand? So there's two sides to it. There's the part where this person is very selfish and doesn't just want to support you.
you.
Yes, and then there's another side where the person has some insecurity that they've not dealt with.
Yes.
The person hasn't been through therapy, the person hasn't discussed it with anyone, they're just dealing with it themselves,
Yes.
right? So they enter into a relationship, they really love this person, they want to support the person, but then these voices they keep hearing.
Yes.
If I
invest in this,
Yeah.
it's for people, somebody, you know,
she will leave me.
Yes.
So when that happens, the outcome is the same as somebody who is selfish.
Yeah,
The outcome is the same. You can't tell the difference.
Yes.
You think that, oh, this is a very wicked man. He doesn't want the best for me.
No, I mean, honestly, if anybody should have told me 5 years back that, Alice, you'll be where you are today, I would say you're lying. Honestly. I was that kind of submissive woman, very much like, anything my husband wants me to do, I do it. He tells me behind closed door, Natalia, this is not good for you. I don't want you to do this. But outside, he will tell people, they put money for now. You know, they make effort. You know, he was like that kind two-faced person. He was like that kind two-faced person. Yes. Okay, I was doing nursing. It was like, Alice Ruto, would that nursing help? You don't ever see rich nurse. You don't want to see. No, that's the kind of person. So at the end of the day, if you say, okay, I will change course and try for God, you will tell people, this I don't put money pana for do nothing. Now you know what's in the ever and before. Now fail on a dream and the ever and one day sabi. He's that kind of person.
For 12 years.
For 12 years, my dear.
Wow.
Honestly, I never thought I would have a life like this anyway. I never thought of it. And I was even scared of leaving the marriage because of my kids. But at the end of the day, I became so suffocated that even my kids I started losing the patience of taking care of my kids. I started losing myself, my sanity. I even overdrugged myself for me to just die and go. Like, I don't have anybody that will understand me. What am I even living for? But at the other end, when I look at my kids, I feel like, okay, I still have something to live for. I still have something that I should stay alive for. That are my kids. So I had to leave the relationship. I had to. Up to date, as I am talking, I did not go to my people. I never go to his people. I just stay on my own, try to help my life.
Yeah, sorry, Mika.
Yes.
It's so crazy. You try for you know what you be do wrong.
I know what they do wrong because nobody is perfect. You understand? Nobody is perfect. The things that women know say they do wrong now be too obedient. Now one thing that they want they do wrong.
That's very true.
So yes,
so
be too obedient.
very true. Like, to be very honest, as a wife,
Disobedience
you don't
is a problem.
always have to be like,
So
oh,
much.
yes, sir, let's do it. Okay, because it's, no.
Yes.
Your point is that you guys have the conversation. Let your husband know that he cannot do anything he wants to do just because he is the husband.
Yes.
He needs to understand that both of you have to come to an agreement, because at the end of the day, if you are doing something that I disagreed with or that I don't understand, you are opening the door for me to also do the same thing.
Yes.
You get, and that's why I always say that it's important for a woman to have money, make money for herself,
Yes.
not because you
You
want,
to be wayward or you
Not
want
because
to be
you want to be
disrespectful.
Are we saying
don't want
for
to
a
be
woman to be
disrespectful.
obedient? Are we saying for a woman to be obedient? It's a problem now.
No, some people take you for
Let me
granted.
just say what I want to say. So it's not about obedience,
It's not
right?
like that.
But what people misunderstand about marriage is that marriage is not necessarily about blind obedience. The Bible says that you have to, first of all, it says you have to submit to your husband as a wife.
Yes.
But then further on in the chapter, it says submit unto one another. You understand? So with women,
The first thing first was submit to your
yes,
husband.
listen.
The second phase was submit
Submit
to
one another. Yes,
To respect each other.
Yes, to respect each other. So one thing I want to say is that the reason why I believe the Bible focuses on submit to your husband is because men interpret submission as love,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then for women, we interpret love. There's a different word the Bible uses. But our interpretation of love is different, right? So most of the time, people will say, respect your husband, respect your
Yes.
husband. That is how he is able to internalize the way you
Internalize,
love
yes.
him. You get. But one thing I would also say is that for women, right, what I see happening around us is that most women submit to the point of blind obedience. And what that does is that it's not supposed to be, but sometimes you will find a woman who never actualizes her destiny. She never actualizes her purpose. She never actualizes what God puts her on earth to do.
Yes.
Because of the fact that she blindly obeys, right? And so when we talk about obedience, we need to give room, right? It's not black or white, yes or no. It's more of like, I'm in a relationship with another human being. Another human being with their own thoughts. Because when God, Jesus Christ came onto the earth, He's God over the whole earth. He gives you the option to accept him as your Lord and personal Savior. He doesn't say, accept me, yes or no, and then you die, right? And so the Bible says that you love your wife as Christ loved the church, right? And so it's more of like, you have to give the woman the option. We are going here. This is our direction. This is the vision for the family. Do you accept? You understand? And then she says, oh, the vision looks nice, but what do you think if we add C and D? Because I think, because that is the purpose of a wife, right? To help you meet your destiny, right? So she says, why don't we add C and D? And then you be like, that's very smart. Okay, let's add C. So now you find a woman following you. She will not ask you any question now because she sees the vision clearly. The Bible says that write out the vision, right? So if you're a man, you have a family, you are the leader, write out your vision to prevent any disagreement or any misunderstanding within your home. Let your wife understand. Let her add her own small contribution to make her feel that she is part. But what usually happens in most homes is that some men misinterpret the unction and the power that has been given to them as the head of the homes. What they do is that yes or no. Yes. Authoritarian regime. And
so let me pop in. This part of the world, there's a minute set, a very small set of women who already have their life planned. Even before going into a relationship.
Very true.
So getting into a relationship, they come with their plan and they present their plan to the man.
So that is, you submit your plan to your husband.
And most times, who wants to suffer? Nobody. Whose man they see good beauty, not just the face. Me personally, that's what I look at. I look at intelligent people. Those are the ones I hold with. All man don't say look for. You understand? So I see your plan. And I would say that, but with all due respect, that's a very small set of people, women, generally. The balance, they're all now. They are just looking for, they get that big thing what they call love, and relationship, and marriage. They come there, they are ready to, from the onset, they are ready to do,
or accept,
honor, worship, whatever the man says or tells them to do. So from the onset, and men are very clever people, intelligent. You come,
they use you to the way they
assess you, assess you, and they know your capabilities. So even some people just can't.
Yes.
They are a joke bad. So I know your capabilities now. So now you can't tell me, say, I want to be a pilot. Yeah, it's a dream. And looking at your age, looking at how far you don't come, I know the chances, let me say not possible, the chances of achieving that, they're far away. You understand?
But what do you do in the instance?
What do you do in that instance?
Because being for me, like I was mentioning, when I started talking about trust, where you put down your insecurities, your limitations on everything, and you hope.
No, that hasn't got to do with insecurity. That has got to do with your plan, your scope. You know, there are things. You they use the smart. It's a smart approach. Not smart approach. I don't forget with the smart approach. The smart approach gets for look at how the project you want to put on, is it achievable? looking at the time frame, looking at the cost. You get things the way you look at for a smart approach. We can't be dating. You don't even have a job. I have a job that pays me 1.5 million or less than 1 million. And you can't tell me, say, and I'm still going to school, and you can't tell me, say, you want to become a pilot.
No, but you know what you can do in that instance as the head of
Yeah,
the home.
there are things to do.
Yes, so
There are things to
what
do.
you can do as the head of the home is you have to lay out a plan before her, right? Lay out her own plan before her. Tell her this is the money that is available
Yes,
to the
so
home.
I'm coming. So meaning, even that your initial plan was not going to work.
No, what you are not getting is that, right?
Exactly.
You need a plan regardless, whether or not the plan will work.
Now I can't afford for you to do this, but let's start with this.
Yes.
So from that of your plan, which was a good thing because you have a plan, you have a dream, which was a good thing, you coming up with a plan, it simply means you want to do something.
Yes.
So we can take it from there.
Yes.
Then we start looking for options. If this is not achievable, okay.
Try something
I am like the stronger person in the relationship. So I'll be guiding you around. No, this is not achievable. Looking at the finances, the time, the blah blah blah, and every other thing around it. Why can't we try this?
No, but you know, one of the mistakes, the things you should never say to your partner is your dreams are not achievable.
No, I'm not saying I won't say that. But there are some things. But there are some things. No, but there are some things.
Directly.
No, you're not killing. It's not a dream you're killing. There are some things, plus and minus, looking at time and resources, every other things. It is hard to say they are not achievable, but they are really not achievable.
No, in this day and age, right? Nothing is unachievable. The reason why I say that is because you might be saying it's unachievable from, let's say, age perspective, right? Money perspective, right? But then there are lots of scholarship programs. So what you can do is, okay, I support your dreams. Apply for this scholarship. Yes.
Which scholarship?
What else?
You can't apply for a scholarship when you don't even have the basics, which is basic was.
So you go and marry somebody who doesn't have this.
We don't have people who marry people who don't have basic was.
There are lots of them.
Yes, there are plenty. Fine.
So we start from the starting. Let's get back to the
No, so that's what I'm saying. That the plan, right? What you are talking about is the end goal.
Yeah.
So I want to be a pilot. So then you draw a line. Where are you now? You get what I mean? You have to do your WAS. How much do you need to do your WAS?
Exactly.
How much is
Start
WAS?
somewhere.
That is the plan.
Starting somewhere.
Exactly.
So that is the plan.
When you start somewhere, you
Now
go
we
somewhere.
start somewhere. You don't even have a WAS to get into the unis. You understand? So now we try for you to get your WAS.
Exactly.
And you get into the uni.
That's it.
Then we calculate age. You have to look at
My
time.
dear,
Time is important.
doesn't really matter.
Of course, it
It doesn't
Why go to the
matter.
union and go and see your grandmothers in the
In terms of
university?
achieving certain things, it matters.
It doesn't
Trust
really
me,
matter.
My dear,
We still
that was
have
then.
people in the university that are above 40.
Say
And
50.
they're even
Say 50.
50.
They are
They're
doing
still
what?
doing diploma or degree.
Yes.
Anyway, so
So,
I want to add something. For me, to get the relationship to that level where you make it interesting, like you mentioned, you asked, it's one, yes, keep the spark, okay? Joyce mentioned earlier that the primary purpose of women are to help the men achieve their destiny. Yes, but then it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You, like this, my sister was saying, you have to do it both ways, right? If, yes, the woman is there to push you, because, yes, I've got that quote also from my pastor, Don Carolia, who said, once said, the meaning of a woman, is manliness.
Yes.
He said, and manliness means that which causes a man to act like a man. So the women primarily are there to help us act like men, behave like men, bring the manliness out of us, push further, okay, to achieve our goals, which is very right from Joyce's perspective. But then also, I've seen, like she was mentioning, there are people who also destroy the dreams of women that come into a relationship. I don't see anything wrong with you helping your wife become a PhD holder, even when you probably are just doing your master's. if you have one common goal, you know she's coming to help you in the home.
Exactly.
So it boils down to self-esteem. Boost up your self-esteem.
Oh, yes.
Help your spouse to achieve whatever she wants to achieve. At the end of the day, you have a common goal.
Yeah.
So for me, it should be both ways. Spoil yourself, push yourself harder. Both of you.
The home
Either
will be
ways.
so
That's
nice
one.
and comfortable.
Number two, make sure that whatever comes to the table, like people generally ask, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
Proverbial table.
Provided there's a table.
Yeah.
But make sure there is something coming from you, the woman. as well.
Exactly.
No matter how little, the man will appreciate. We know generally that from creation, we are supposed to provide. They said the woman, first of all, does not have any business in loving her husband. It should be,
The man loving.
no, sorry, I think I've mixed it. But it should be respect, sorry. Respect your husband, and the husband loves and protects in return.
Yeah.
So a husband performs excellently, or always are in a very good frame of mind when he is getting a full respect and support, full respect and love from his wife.
Me for me, I only
In
say
form,
a
you
man
have
gets
the-
what he
you have the
wants.
husband protecting and loving the woman and the kids. So bring respect, okay? Bring respect and support to the home as a wife, and you, the man, bring love and protection for your family. So you start pushing yourselves. I have a situation where I know of a lady who is still fighting to have her was sorted out, while the husband has gone to have, I think he's even achieved the highest degree in accounting, CPA or something.
Yeah.
So each time the lady saw me somewhere, I knew her before, and then she was grumbling, saying, "My husband doesn't want me to go to university." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because he's afraid that I was going to start doing something different." I said, "But that's insecurity. And this guy is a highly educated person."
Yeah.
Sitting on your wife's destiny.
Yes.
Like a witch.
It's a CPA holder. That was one of the highest certificates in accounting. And the lady, very intelligent, is still fighting to have a was.
Wow.
Not because they don't have the money,
Yeah, exactly.
but because he has crafted her to be
To be at the
home,
back, yeah.
just producing children.
Such a
and-
person, I would tag such a person as being wicked.
Yeah, so
You understand?
viewers out there, let them know that the man has to allow the woman to grow.
For
Yes.
project, like I was saying, you have to use the smart approach. You have to be specific. You look at time, you look at achievability. But for somebody to have the WAS and the diploma, first degree, those ones, no matter your age, they're still, more especially for somebody who is 35, 40, even 45 going to 50, because we know people who are within 40 going to 50 who is still going to achieve that.
Oh, yes.
And then
Those are still
one thing
achievable.
I also want to say out there to the men that are listening to us is that when you better your wife, it's not about your wife like doing better than you as a man, but it's more of you, the man, you are securing your own future. Because one thing about women is a woman doesn't just get up to leave her husband or divorce her husband like the way you hear, oh, this man just divorced his wife. It doesn't really happen. Women, we are brought up to kind of like appreciate marriage, right? So when a woman is married, you see people respect her more in public. When she's invited for talk shows or like for events, oh, Mrs. You see, they like it. They love it. So it's very difficult to find, especially unless, of course, I know there are psychopathic women out there that they will leave you the moment you lose your
Yeah, I
mind.
wanted to mention that.
Yes, but you see, those ones are rare occasions.
It's rare
And
occasions.
also, when as a man, that's why the onus is very important on selecting the woman you want to marry. If you go in for big breasts, big buttocks, you know what you're getting yourself into, right? But then you go in for somebody, you realize that this person has a good set of a head on her shoulders, has good friends around her, comes from a good home. And the most important thing is that when you're marrying somebody, you should know who can bring the person to order. So don't marry someone that has no one that can talk to him or her. When issue happens,
That's true.
you can't call anyone to talk sense in the person's head. Don't marry someone like that.
Yeah.
Marry someone, if it's your husband, if it's his father, his pastor.
Yes.
If it's a woman, her mother, maybe her pastor, or there's somebody in her life that she respects and loves.
Yes.
That when she starts to misbehave, the person says, hey,
But he has more respect for
she
you.
comes back to herself,
yes.
right? So when you're a man and you better your wife, like you're not considering the fact that she might leave you in the future. You are sure that this woman is for the long term with you, right? When you better her, you are securing your future in a sense that if anything happens to you or your source of income, she's going to support the family.
So, no young points.
I'm okay, or he said he wants to change. He did not want the public to see him that he's not being a gentleman.
You are so
Mr. Gentleman, okay.
Except for very few.
Yeah, you secure your own future, because there are times when a man is doing very well in his home. He's doing well in his home, he's making money, and all of a sudden he falls sick.
Oh, yes.
When he falls sick, the wife is the one now taking care of the home. There are several instances where I've heard about it. There's even one where the man was maltreating his wife, treating her badly and all, but she stayed in the marriage, and then he fell sick. Something happened to him. Irrespective of what he did to her, she still took care of him, right? She took care of him, she took care of the home, and when he got back to his feet, he stopped maltreating his wife, because now he was able to see the benefits. So one thing is that as a man, always make sure that, I know men are smart, right? So aside from maybe relying on banks to keep your money and all that stuff, invest in your partner.
Yes.
Invest in her, because one thing about women is that we take care of like people. We love taking care of the people that we love, our husbands, our children. The way we even show love is we prepare the food you like.
Yes.
Right? That shows how much we are nurturing, right? So if you take care of your wife, make sure that she earns a lot of money, she's comfortable. If something should ever happen to you, one day, God forbid, you can't take care of your home like the way you used to, something happened, you'll not even be too stressed, right? Because sometimes for some men, if they're about to lose their jobs or their business are going down, then all hell breaks loose, because there's no other source.
Yes.
Their wives are stay at home. She can't help them. So you see, he'll be going through so much stress. He'll be thinking, because nobody can support him from the home. But if you have your wife who is also supporting you, even if something is going on in the office, or like you lost your job, you're not too concerned. You have even time to look for a new job.
Yes.
Because you know that at least lights, bills, school fees, my wife can take care of those things. We might not be too comfortable like we were before, but at least the
basics are handled and life goes on.
Once I comfortably look for a new job, you get what I mean?
I always say whatever you give to your wife is what you will receive.
Sure.
If you give your wife happiness, you will reap happiness in bountifully. If you give your wife stress, trust me, you will reap stress. If you give your wife support, you will have support that you've never experienced in your life. Ask those men that are successful. Ask them how they are doing it. What is the way they are doing? You think people are stupid to say behind every successful man there must be a woman? Listen, women, we are not just, God did not just remove us from your ribs. We are here to support you. If you support me, I will give you multiple support that you don't even expect. But if you make me cry, my dear, you will cry anywhere you go.
And then one thing about women that I think men don't realize is that, usually a man will break up with a woman before maybe he'll start drinking, thinking about their relationship and all of that. Women, we end the relationship whilst in the relationship.
Exactly.
So whilst we are in the relationship, we ended it too.
Yes. Very true.
You are not aware.
Really?
Yes.
The woman will be crying. You wonder why she's crying. She's grieving for the end of the relationship.
Yes.
You understand?
You're right.
No, but it happens.
Yes.
So you see that by the time the woman is ready, by the time she brings the divorce papers, there's nothing you can tell her to convince her. At that point, there's nothing that you can tell her to convince her, because she's already grieved, ended the relationship even
Long
before
ago,
you brought it. No, like it's a very true reality that people don't often talk about, right? Because when a woman sees a man over and overly disrespect her, insult her, sit on her dreams, like dampen her
Oh,
spirit.
yes.
She might not come out to fight with you that why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing
Because
she
you
might
know you don't have the strength and you
so
don't
she
have
might
the
bring
support.
it to you and say, I feel like you are not doing this for me. I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and then you shut her down 2, 3, 4 times. You shut her down. You don't listen to her. She will stop complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And then what she starts doing from that point is she comes to a point of acceptance
Mm-hmm.
that whilst I'm here, I know that there's no hope for me.
Yeah.
She begins to accept.
Well,
She begins to accept.
I'm going to collect notes from you.
She begins to accept
Jesus.
to herself.
Yeah, man.
And she says that, okay, I know that there is no hope for me. So
Yes.
she stops having hope.
yes.
Right? She stops hope. And then as she's continuing in the relationship, she begins to now think about her life and says that, but even when I was in my father's house, was I not able to do this and this and this for myself?
Exactly.
And then that's where she begins to work her way out. So I remember most of the time, young ladies, when we go to the salon to fix our hair, we have this women talk.
Yes.
I've met an older woman, she's been married for 20, 30 years. She was like, she has built a house, her husband has no idea.
Oh.
The man has been maltreating her, cheating on her, bringing different women here and there, and she's been quietly being in their marriage because of the children, right? And now she's been able to save small from the chop money, things he gives her. She has built a house for herself. She's ready for some finishing touches, and then she'll move out and then send him divorce because
Yes.
this is a marriage of 30 years plus.
Okay.
Wow.
You understand?
It doesn't matter.
So at that point, when she brings you the divorce papers, what are you going to tell her to convince
Exactly.
her at that point? There's nothing you can tell. That's why I always tell men that when you're in a relationship with a woman and she brings something to you as a point of concern, sometimes I don't blame men because their minds are on other things. And men are they're logical thinkers.
That is the whole. That is the whole
So
topic here.
men are
In as much
logical
as you
thinkers.
are a whole different being. Men are a whole different being.
No, but you see, one thing you can do as a man is that when you're a logical thinker, right, and you don't think about these small things. So what you can rely on is what your wife says. And one thing about women is if there's something going on that they don't like, they will bring it up to you in conversation.
So what
And they
can
will
you do?
test you, right? They will test your reception of the information.
Yes.
So if they tell you something, as somebody who really appreciates your wife, you might not necessarily take it to heart. There's a term in Ghana, it's called badrimba. So what badrimba means is that when I tell you something, you might not accept it immediately I tell you. But when you go back and lie on your bed, right, you think. You'll be like, but my wife said this, so at the time she told me I was busy, so I didn't take it, but she said this, so what does it mean? Then you come back to her. Oh, babe, I heard that you said this, and it might be something little.
Oh, yeah.
When you come back from work, the way you leave your shoes, I don't like it. When you come, just put it, say, oh, I'll do it for you. Because women, one thing about us, it's not the big things that push us away. It's the small things.
Yeah, take notes. I also taking notes.
It's the small things, so.
We are not perfect.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning.
Yeah,
We're
that's
doing
one thing.
this. We
And you
hear
know
these
one thing
things.
that women appreciate, you might not get everything right.
At all.
But once she begins to see that you take what she says, like the first 2, 3 things she said, you accepted it. You might have forgotten about others.
Yes.
But she saw that you were trying on some of them.
Some
She'll
of
appreciate you. She'll be like, my husband is not like the others. So my
Even
husband,
your wrong side, you'll never see it.
she'll not
again.
look at it again. She'll just focus on what you heard.
Yes.
And she'll tell herself, because a lot of women say this, oh, my husband is not perfect, but he does this for me. He does that for me.
Yes.
And that is enough. But if you're a man,
And just like when I'm in love, if you tell me that you're going to the office, for me, my husband is at the office. If you call me now and tell me my husband is at the hotel, that's your business. It's not my call. My husband told me he's going to the office. I only know my husband to be in the office, except otherwise. So what is my business for me to go and take a car here or run to the hotel? That's not my business. I wait for my husband to come back home.
okay.
Sometimes don't even ask him. Don't. Hey, somebody call me and tell me that you are in the hotel.
Maturity.
No, don't ask him. Just pretend he went to the office and he's come back home.
Maturity. That is key.
And you can even ask, how was your day?
Eh.
And then you'll be like, oh, I was in the office and then I had to pass.
Added maturity.
How was your day? Okay, so before we go for
quick commercial break. I would like to say thank you very much to our host, to our guests. You know, this topic really is tactical. If you don't take time. So thank you so very much, guys. So if you're just joining, this is the Devine's Talk Show, and we're discussing on the topic why things to, why is it necessary or what to do to keep your intimate relationship going. So guys, we're going now for a short commercial break. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. Keep on live.